Hey, what up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. It's a cold one here in Sacramento, California. We got a lot of rain going on last night and this morning throughout the day, so it's probably just be one of those days where we're trapped in the house all day. I'm wearing the Hulkamania shirt. I'm all fired up for Ho-Ho, was it Ho-Ho Hogan? Ho-Ho Santa? Whatever it is. Hulkamania Santa coming to Monday Night Raw on Monday. WWE week going on currently on USA Network. As everybody knows that I am a cord cutter. I don't have cable. I haven't had it since shortly after WrestleMania this year. I've been relying solely on the WWE Network and finding things on the internet. So I didn't watch. I told myself I was going to go watch that Paige versus Emma match last night on main event, and I never did. But I did watch Roman Reigns, and I did watch the Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler match from last night's live SmackDown. People that got to check that out. If you go over to USA Tonight, you'll be able to see a tribute to the troops. It's honestly one of my favorite shows that the WWE does all year long. I know that honestly it's not what it once was when they used to go overseas and go to the troops, fighting the good fight for America. They went to Iraq, they went to Afghanistan, in Vince McMahon fashion. They don't go to the weak portions of where the war is. They go right into the battlegrounds, as they show you throughout the shows. Basically, they do like little cutscenes of the superstars going out and actually visiting the troops and seeing what they do. They load them up into helicopters and they fly them around to survey the damage. They basically take them on the walkthrough that they do every day, showing the people that come to help them get through the day. A lot of these people are wrestling fans. A lot of these people are not. They're just happy that people are coming to come visit them and basically get a slice of America at home. Because when you go overseas, most of the time you're stationed over there for 6 or 10 months at a time. Maybe some of these people have been over there longer. So it was awesome that WWE did this for a good number of years. They put a DVD out years ago. It's been a while since I popped it in. Honestly, I was glad that they uploaded these shows up to the WWE Network, even though they don't have all of them up there yet. I went and checked out the 2005 show. I think that if you want to watch the 2003 or the 2004 episode, one of those has the Stone Cold Steve Austin stunning John Cena. That was the one that I really wanted to see. But I wasn't able to find that one on the WWE Network yet. So I believe that the cover of the DVD has Kurt Angle walking to the ring, and you can tell that it's got all of the surroundings of being in Iraq. I think it's just called Tribute for the Troops, but I definitely recommend you pick that up if it hasn't been added to the WWE Network. It's only going to cost you a couple of bucks. On this episode from 2005, this seemed to be mostly the Raw set. Well, not the Raw set, the Raw crew, I apologize. They had 7 matches. They had one awesome main event. They had, 2 just sort of good matches, and they just had some entertainment. This show couldn't have been longer than an hour when I was watching it. But it started out with Big Show versus Carlito. When I was watching this, I was trying to think of 2005 Carlito, if he was on the rise or if he was on the fall. And I think this is the time when Carlito was actually pushing like he was actually going to become something. Everybody can sort of picture the time when Chris Masters and Carlito took John Cena to the ends of the Elimination Chamber. Of course, after that is when Edge sort of cashed in. Maybe a lot of people can look back at the Carlito and Chris Masters tag team that lost the WrestleMania match to Big Show and Kane. Maybe that was the sort of the rise and fall of that. But Big Show defeated Carlito from there. After that, we had JBL coming down to the ring in a bad heel Santa costume, basically, And then Mick Foley, he wasn't the Santa as we know him today, but basically Mick Foley dressed out as Santa Claus came down to the ring and challenged good Santa versus bad Santa in a no-holds-barred match. This match, honestly, wasn't really a whole lot of anything. It reminded me a lot of last year on the Raw Christmas show when you had, it was Damian Sandow, and he went up against Mark Henry. Just sort of a match like that. Two guys in Santa costumes beating each other up. Of course, Mick Foley was able to get the win here. Then we go to our first good match of the night, which was Snitsky going up against Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin, even though I've had my problems with him in the past, always worked a really great match. Snitsky was able to get the win here. From there we go to what looked like to be the future of the WWE. John Cena going up against Chris Masters, two real big-bodied guys. I think Cena was the champion at this point, but I wasn't 100% sure. Chris Masters and Cena had a short of good match. Cena got the win. From there we went to Ric Flair defending the Intercontinental Championship against Jonathan Coachman in a match that had no reason at all. Maybe they just didn't have enough guys over there to put anybody else out there. But Coachman, in my mind, wasn't the best choice from there. Everybody that was there, marked out hard for the Divas coming out next. It was Trish Stratus and Ashley Massaro going up against Candice Michelle and Maria. The girls were all decked out in like sort of Santa's elves costumes. You've seen it 1,000 times. If you've seen a WWE Christmas show before, you've seen the costumes they put them in. Trish Stratus, I think she probably designed her own outfit. She was wearing more of a soldier sort of camouflage, it was like her normal gear that she normally wears, but it was like a camouflage sort of color. Maria was playing the dumb idiot at this point. Candice Michelle was sort of on the rise. She was able to get the win here for her team. But I think all of the soldiers out there getting to see Candice, Maria, Trish Stratus, and Ashley Massaro, I think they were the real winners in all of this. Ashley was coming off of her Total Divas win. I think her Playboy had come out at this point. It's funny, 3 out of the 4 girls all posed for Playboy here, except for the one that we wanted to see, was Trish. And then in the main event was a boot camp match. This was the last match that these two guys ever had. They didn't talk about it on the WWE Rivalries episode that they did on each other, but it was Shawn Michaels going up against Triple H. Shortly after this in 2005, I guess this was the end of 2005, shortly after this in 2006 is when DX reunited, and they took on the McMahons and the Spirit Squad. So this would be the last one-on-one encounter. Of course, you would think of the Survivor Series match, Shawn Michaels versus Triple H versus John Cena for the WWE Championship. That was a time they were all in the ring competing against each other, and maybe they were in, I don't think they were in a chamber together, but maybe there was something that they would have thrown blows at each other. But this was the real last match. It's not the best match they've ever had. Knowing it's the last match and it's something you can look back on, I had a good feeling when I was watching it. Nothing really big and spectacular. They beat the hell out of each other. Boot camp match is basically no holds barred, a lot like the Santa matches above. But Shawn Michaels got the win. It's just fun to really see what WWE does. Basically loading up in the jet, flying overseas, setting up in the middle of nowhere, and just telling anybody who's around, come on down and we're going to put on a show, a lot like Bob Hope used to do back in the day, or something like that. And they all come, they all have fun. I'm sure WWE is smart, and I bet you that they make wrestling fans out of this. I'm sure that a lot of soldiers that don't normally watch WWE or hadn't watched since the Hogan era come home and talk about the McMahons coming over there and putting on this whole deal. I know that now, they held the show this year in somewhere in Georgia. I think it was in Savannah, Georgia. I'm not 100% sure, but they sort of pre-do it, and then they put it on TV like a week later. If you remember last year, they had Alberto Del Rio as the heel, and then like a week after the taping, they decided to make Alberto Del Rio the big, huge babyface. I think he even won the World Heavyweight Championship at a SmackDown taping. And then, out of the middle of nowhere, this Tribute for the Troops airs, and it's Cena versus Del Rio. Del Rio kills Santa Claus, so maybe that there is some bad things. But then again, this is a TV show that doesn't air on, I guess it does air on USA. It'll air on USA Tonight, but it'll air on NBC, I think next week or something like that. And even though it doesn't get ratings, maybe somebody will turn it on, and maybe somebody will watch it and want to become a wrestling fan again. But I always get good feelings for the Tribute for Troops. I've never done a review of one of these shows before, but check it out, and we'll go from there. Peace out, everybody. Have a good day.